Hey, everybody. For those of you that don't know, I'm Romy. And this is my better half, Mark. Um,
Toothless friend.
yeah, my toothless better half.
Mhm.
So tonight we have an awesome honor of having Natalie Rigby with us. So for those of you that don't know, Natalie is actually the one that enrolled me through Melissa Prashant and Lateran is in the roundabout way. That's how I came across Natalie on Facebook, believe it or not. Natalie is a class person. And so social media wasn't really the way that she was doing business, but it really ended up to be the way that Natalie and I were able to connect. And so I was thinking about how I would do the introduction with Natalie because most of you know Natalie. And for those of you that don't know Natalie, you will by the time we're done tonight. But so one of the things that I was thinking about is actually being on purpose about giving honor and grace to our upline and the respect that our enroller deserves, no matter what space that enroller is in, whether they're doing the business or they just stepped out of their comfort zone and shared an oil with you. Because without the person that shared the oil with you, you wouldn't be with any of us. And without Natalie sharing the oil with me, or just the opportunity of doTERRA as a whole, you wouldn't be with us, and I may not be with you. So I will always have love and honor and respect in my heart for Natalie. She will always be that person that changed my life in so many ways. And there is just not enough words for me to be able to express to you how I feel about having Natalie in my life, how I feel about how that all came about. As uplines and downlines, we don't always have that perfect communication and that perfect relationship and all of that. And honestly, in the circles that both of us run, without doTERRA, Natalie and I probably would have not crossed paths. And so I totally believe that it was a divine connection for me to be able to connect with Natalie. And so now you all have the honor of having Natalie in your life. I'm super excited to have you with us, Natalie. I love you dearly, as you know. And so Natalie is just going to share what's on her heart. She's an awesome teacher. She's an awesome presenter. She's just right up there with the best of them. So with that, I will let you take it away, ma'am.
Wait, Natalie, I just want to say everything she said because I wouldn't have her, I'm sure of it, today, if you guys wouldn't have met. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now go ahead and talk to everybody.
Now that you guys have me crying my eyeballs out, which happens every time I get on a Sizzle, mind you. And I asked Romy, okay, what do you want me to touch on tonight? And she's like, oh, just speak from your heart. Don't plan anything. Just speak from your heart. And then she introduces me like that, and my heart's like ready to burst, and my brain's going in 10 million different directions. But thanks, Romy and Mark. I love you guys so much, and it definitely was a God thing. God's been a huge part of this business, and I'm not going to deny it ever. Romy, some of you have heard the story too, how we found each other on Facebook, and we didn't know each other. It was actually through Melissa Prashant, who I went to high school with. I'll go ahead and let this be your first little lesson here. I had reached out to Melissa about the business, and she had mentioned that she was kind of miserable with her current job situation, and I told her, hey, come work with me. You would love this. This is so much fun. And she was interested. We started talking, but Meanwhile, I get this message from the stranger that said she had noticed a comment I made on Facebook. She didn't tell me where or how, but wondered if I had anything to help with feelings of sadness. Do I need to be compliant on this?
No.
Okay, thanks. Depression. And so I responded back and started sharing with her what I had learned about depression and oils. And I'm very scientific. I love the science of the oils. For those of you that know me know that I love the research, and it's very hard for me to be compliant because I like to speak the truth. And I'm just going to go ahead and keep speaking the truth. But from there, we happened to meet up. I happened to find out she was only 20 minutes away. Now, mind you, I've been living in St. George for the last 18 years, most of that. But when crap hit the fan in 2008, Burke and I had to rent our house in St. George and move up to northern Utah, which is 5 hours away, you guys. We had to move 5 hours away into my parents' basement. They lived in a little town called Kaysville, Utah. And when I'm talking with this stranger who saw this message on Facebook, it comes to find out she's in Bountiful, which is 15 minutes away from Kaysville. And I'm like, well, let's meet up. So we met up and started talking, and she immediately said, I don't want to do the business. Okay, how many of you said that, right? I don't want to have anything to do with the business. I just want help with my emotions. And that's where we started with it. And it did not take very long at all for this woman to grasp the bigger picture of all of this, because I tell you, she was not wanting the business was wanting her. And there's a very, very big reason for that. She was called to do doTERRA because she knows what she knows. She knew those oils helped. She knows the impact it had on her life. And I know she immediately knew she had to share it as loud and proud as she could. And she went to work and just exploded. And this lady that was like, I'm never doing a class. And that's the only way I knew how to build. She's like, I'm not doing classes. Found her path, found her voice, found her delivery system, and went out and just set the world on fire with her heart and soul. And because of that, you are all here, and I have just an amazing doTERRA family and so many friends that I never would have known, and a community that has just blessed me beyond measure and has helped lift me up through crazy times. This hasn't been an easy journey for any of your uplines. I just want you to know, this hasn't been an easy journey. We've had to fight through the same blocks you're fighting through. We've had outside issues going on. We've had internal issues going on. We've had to battle these. This is an emotional business. That's why you get on these sizzles and you cry, because it's emotional, because the self-development required to push through the bad days is intense, but it's so incredible, so absolutely incredible. And that's really what's on my heart today, as I've been, a lot of you have joined in on our 6 weeks challenge that we're doing. And we had a call last night on belief, and we talked about different things that get in the way. And one of the things that I feel like gets in our way is the fact that this is network marketing. Like, raise your hand if that bothered you. Be honest. Like, that bothered me when I first joined the company. I was like, I don't like network marketing. It had this negative connotation to it. It just had this negative vibe, and I didn't really want that avenue. I didn't really ask for that avenue, but I felt the same as Romy did. It was this burning in my heart that I knew I had to do this, because I knew there was a mission behind the business model that was more powerful than the business model or the industry I was entering into. And that's really what I feel like I want to talk about tonight, because I feel like we really need to step it up a level in being more bold and speaking the truth and standing and uniting other women into this community, because this community is powerful. I don't know what conversations you had this morning, but could you not feel that? Could you not feel the healing that was taking place, and the way that we were sharing how to use the oils and how to heal from these intense feelings of sadness. And that's powerful. That's what it's about, to empower others. And we know that this is predominantly women. There's men on this call. My husband's heavily involved. Mark's heavily involved. The men are powerful in this, but doTERRA is still predominantly women. And I can't help but think about, like, we get behind these women movements, right? And we're so passionate about this or that or the other, but can you think of another movement that's more powerful for women than doTERRA? There's not one out there. Let me ask you this. Is there another industry anywhere out there that is doing more for women than network marketing? Think about that for a minute. As I've been traveling around the world, as we've been in Brazil, and we've talked with teammates we have in these countries where, I mean, their average monthly earning is like $650 a month, you guys. And we have diamond leadership in these areas. We have diamonds in Colombia. We have diamonds in Peru. We have diamonds popping in Brazil. Like, wrap your minds around that. That is a powerful movement. So not only are we able to help each other heal from the inside out, it extends beyond that. We are healing with the oils. We're being able to connect that body, mind, and spirit, which is so powerful. We're helping other women to do that as well. We're creating this incredible financial freedom for women around the globe, not just women here who have carpet and running water. We're actually extending beyond that and blessing the lives of women who have never had an opportunity like this come their way ever, with something that's so beautiful as the oils. And then we've got the self-development that we're pouring into each other. That's all we're focusing on, is this beautiful self-development and changing our mindsets and opening up to abundance and letting go of the fear, letting go of things that have happened to us in the past. Think of all that doTERRA has helped you let go of. Some of you are brand new and maybe you haven't felt it yet, but I promise you're going to. Some of you have been here a long while, and you can write me an entire book on the ways that doTERRA has helped you release things from the past and helped you move and elevate to the next level. That's what this is about, you guys. That's what doTERRA is about. When we talk about the mission of doTERRA, you know, we'll sit and we'll think about co-impact sourcing, which, believe me, that's incredible. I've had the opportunity to be on those amazing trips and rebuild schoolhouses in Nepal and do the Days for Girls trips and plant fruit trees in Brazil and do the amazing humanitarian side of that. That sometimes it becomes so easy to get wrapped up in that we forget what's right in front of us and what we all on this call can do every single day. You have the opportunity placed before you to touch lives every single day. What a gift and a blessing that is. And I'm here to tell you, do not get wrapped up in the rank of this. Do not get wrapped up in the money of this. Get wrapped up in the movement. And I'm not saying money's bad, because I've said it last night on the call, you can't feed the hungry from empty shelves, right? We've got to have the finances to be able to help with all the humanitarian efforts, and we've got to be able to take care of our own needs so we're not so stressed out. I will tell you, being flat broke, living in my parents' basement, was a darkness and a despair I don't ever want to feel again. So I'm grateful for the finances, because that just helps me do my best and give my best back within this movement. So that's really what was on my heart tonight, is how do we lock arms and move forward in this sort of a spirit, in this sort of a movement? How do we create something to where we're boldly going out and sharing the movement instead of just the oils, or instead of just bringing in business partners? How do we change our mindset to open it up to that so that we don't have fear talking to people? Because when I talk to you about it, can you feel that shift? Can you feel that it all of a sudden becomes easier to approach people when it's that movement and the mission on your heart instead of enrolling? Like, I feel that. So that's really what I'm hoping to accomplish, and really something I would love to brainstorm, Romy, with you and your team, is how do we do this? I want to open this up and say, how do you do this? What are your thoughts, Miss Romy?
I love the idea of coming at it from the movement standpoint. I mean, we've talked about it over and over again about, as soon as when you're approaching people with dollar signs in the eyes, it's we're missing the big picture there. And so it really is all of the other stuff. It's the lifestyle, it's the heart, it's the serving others, it's empowering women. It's showing also the power that happens when the men and the women step into that space together, and how powerful men and women together can be. It is way bigger than a product.
Yes.
Way bigger.
And I love that you brought that up, because I really feel like Burke has brought a whole different dimension into this. And what I love is that he sees the movement and he loves what this is all about. And especially because he's been able to do most of the international travel. So he's seen that side of it, to where it's actually really changing the world, you guys. As crazy as that sounds, doTERRA is 100% changing the world. One drop at a time, one home at a time. Just, that's what it's doing. And I love that the men are coming involved, because we need their expertise. We need their strength to complete the picture, in my opinion. So I think men tend to be more bold, right? Sometimes, not always, but in the business.
Most of the time.
In the business sense. So at least in my marriage, they tend to be that way. I'm more bold with the oils. He's more bold with the business, right? And you need both of that to be able to complete the picture of it. Yeah, I like what LaTaryn's saying. Plus, not everyone needs money or wants the business. The movement is really something that speaks to everybody. Who wouldn't want to be a part of that? I mean, if you're talking about people that have these feelings of loneliness, could they come into a better community than this, really? You can't find them a better home than doTERRA for that kind of thing. I mean, how many of you saw the little video I posted? There was a little video of quadruplets, and they were just sitting there hugging each other. And I said, this is us at convention in a few weeks, you guys, because that's it. I mean, who doesn't love the hugs? Like you said, there's got to be a way to give a better virtual hug. That video was hilarious to me, because it's exactly what happens at convention. So many people need that. They have lost hope. They feel scared because there's so much contention in the world. Still, we keep thinking, oh, it's going to calm down, but there's still like such a division in politics, and just so much that's not right now, that I feel like people need to find a home. They need to find somewhere where it doesn't matter what your political views are, what your religion is, what the color of your skin is. They need a home. And doTERRA has created that space for us, where we're all united in a common cause and a common goal. And that's really to serve people. If you really get down to it, that's what we're about. And there's some people that are like, oh man, I'm so tired of the mush of doTERRA, and I'm so tired of seeing Emily Wright cry. But let me tell you, some of us don't know what to do with a heart that's so full, other than to just cry it out. Like Romy introducing me. That made my heart so full, I couldn't do anything but cry it out. Okay, I'm so grateful for her in my life and all of you in my life that it's going to make me cry it out. And I'd much rather cry than be angry. I'd much rather see someone stand on the stage and be so overwhelmed and so fulfilled with life and so proud of what they're doing that they're crying than shouting and trying to get, you think of other network marketing companies and their conventions, and it's just this big, yeah, you got to, raise the roof, get more money, get that car, get that house. And it's such a different feeling within doTERRA. I'd rather see the tears myself. And I really feel like if we took a few months to focus on that, I would love to see what that created, to have that one mindset shift of don't let this be about the rank. Don't let this be about the money. Let this be about the mission. I would love to see what would happen if we took the next few weeks and just went out there and hit it from that angle about building a stronger community, and really, really helping people who feel downtrodden, who feel like life has dealt them a horrible hand. Let's change that for them. Let's shift that mindset. Let's open them up to abundance, not just money, but just the whole abundance of well-being, that whole definition of wellness. The definition of wellness is actually the body, mind, and spirit. It's a balance of the body, mind, and spirit. Let's focus on that. Let's help bring that to every single home around you, to every relative, to every warm market person, and to all those strangers out there as well. Let's create a movement. Let's bring people into this and show them what we're really about. Let's not be afraid to sell this company at the 10 that it is, because it's a 10 for products. It's a 10 for a company as far as the ownership and the company, it's a 10. And that the community is a 10. So why aren't we selling it at a 10? Why are we holding back from selling this at a 10 when we know it's a 10? Keep that in mind when you go out there and you're scheduling your next class. Make sure you're promoting it at a 10. Make sure your invite looks like a 10 and it's promoting the message we're trying to give at a 10. I mean, you have people that will go out and join these marches and, shout from the rooftops about this or that or the other. Why are we not shouting about this? We can cry about it, but we can also shout about it, right? We can get out and march for this cause, march for truly empowering women around the globe and men around the globe. I will tell you just what this has done for us as a couple, but the freedom that Burke has now is just unbelievable, to be able to live the life that he never dreamt was possible. The amount of fulfillment that's in his heart. I wish that he was here so he could step in and share, but he's up with our son from the Dominican. He's going in for surgery tomorrow of his torn ACL. Sorry. But another reason why I love this company is, so my son, we have one son, by the way, Warner, served a mission with a boy from the Dominican Republic. And when they were on their missions together, they were talking about what they wanted to do when they grew up. And both of them were saying that they really wanted to become a doctor. And for Warner, he knew that was a reality because we already had a thriving doTERRA business. But for his little buddy in the Dominican, he didn't. And he knew he would never be able to go to school because his parents couldn't afford it. And they talked about how much he wished he could do and started to try and figure out a plan. And when Warner came home from his mission and he was sharing this story with us, we were like, oh my goodness, I hope that he can get there. And one day we were driving in the car and Bert pulled over and he said, hey, we're supposed to bring that boy to America. and we're supposed to give him an education and get him through medical school. And we called up Warner. Now this boy, he doesn't speak English. He didn't speak English. And Warner called him to tell him in Spanish that we wanted to give him a scholarship to come here to get to school. And you guys, it took us a year to get that boy his visa to come to school. But he's here in the English Learning Center in Provo. They have to learn English before they're allowed to actually attend college. And he's doing so well that he actually got to skip a whole semester of English. He speaks very fluently now. And he gets to, not this semester, but the next semester, apply for his first round of college. So Burke he was playing basketball and tore his ACL and meniscus. He's super tall and just blew it out, and he has surgery in the morning. So anyway, I didn't mean to make a big ball fest of that, but again, so grateful that doTERRA allowed us to be an instrument in changing his trajectory of his life, and able to provide an avenue for him to achieve that dream. We can't achieve that dream for him. He's going to have to put in the hard work. He's going to have to put in the years of schooling to make that dream of becoming a doctor his reality. But I'm here to tell you, he's going to do it. We just gave him a helping hand. And that's what this company is about. That's what this becomes. So when you're all thinking about your big dream, I'm telling you to step it up a level, because one day you're going to be sitting here right where I am, and you're going to be telling all the amazing paydays that you've been able to have because of this incredible company. And they just get bigger and better and more heartwarming and more spiritual and just incredible. So I'm rambling, Romy. I'm going off, but I just love it. And I hope that you guys will want to lock arms and really move forward with selling this movement, because it's worth selling this movement. It's worth improving those that you love's lives. If you don't have your family involved, go after them. They may not come. I still don't have a lot of my family involved in this with me, but I'm not quitting. I want them involved with me. Go after them again. Go after your friends again. Take it from a different angle. Let them know how passionate you are and share from your heart, because they'll feel it and they'll come. We have people that we approached 9 years ago. We've been in this business almost 10 years, you guys. And we have people years and years ago that are now finally saying, okay, I'm coming, because we're not giving up on them. We're bringing them into this fold. We know what this is about, and I'm not letting up until everyone knows what I know and can feel what I feel. So thanks, Iris.
I think that's a good point. We were talking the other day with, I was talking with Cheryl. We were talking about that when they say no, it just means not yet. And it is very true. It is not yet. And it is true that network marketing and doTERRA is not for everyone. However, there are still certain aspects of doTERRA that are for everyone, even if it's just the products. And yeah, it's hard to do business with the people that are super close with us sometimes, because there's lines there that it's a learning curve on figuring out how to navigate that part of it. But I'm a huge advocate of bringing in the people that you love the most immediately, because why would you not want something that is so good for the people that you love? And so for me, the benefits of doing that far outweigh the learning curve of the navigation. So it's just, it changes lives. And like you were talking about, with just being able to do some of those things that I think when we sit down and start writing out our dreams and trying to figure out, the big dreams and stuff like that, we still have a little bit of that ceiling there that stops us from being able to think and dream as big as the possibilities, because all things are possible. All things are possible. And so being able to pay for someone's college, not many people would even have that on a dream board, because why would you? Because it's going to be hard enough to put your own kids through college, much less have on a dream board that you want to put somebody else's kids through college, or, you know, different things like that. So it does allow us to step into that space of really thinking outside the box, dreaming outside the box, and just going for it. And it is like, I mean, you've talked about it. There's a lot of memes out there. If your goals and dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. And it's totally true. It's totally true, because everything is possible. We just have to say yes.
You have to open up to accept it. You're absolutely right. You have to have that abundant mindset. That's it. And it's that mindset that allows it to start flowing in. It just, once you open up and you declare what you want, it's amazing how it just comes in. And I will tell you, obviously, never in a million years did I think, oh, hey, bringing someone to America and putting them through school is not something that we wrote down on our bucket list, right? It wasn't something we had even thought of, but God has plans for you. And you need to be in a place where you can answer him and say, yes, I'll do this. I mean, 9 years ago, I would have never thought in a million years we'd be able to put our own son through college where we were at financially, let alone, you guys, we have 4 college students right now. We have 4 college students, all with $500 a month rent, okay, with their tuition, with food, and obviously, you know, they have jobs that they're taking care of, some of that, but a lot of that's on us as parents. We just had a daughter go to Hawaii who's going to college in Hawaii, and then 3 of them up in Provo right now. So we've got 4 college students, and that there's no way we could have given them this opportunity 9 years ago. There's no way. We would have had to have said no. They would have had to figure out a scholarship of their own. I mean, I'm sure
they'd be going to the University of Utah.
They'd be going to the university. That's so expensive. It doesn't matter which college you're in. It's so expensive. It's crazy expensive.
You'd still be living in Kaysville.
Yeah. I would have been doing homeschool college 9 years ago, because there's no way we would have been able to afford college for 4 kids. So what a blessing. And just to, you know, it's one thing to be able to provide for yourself, and another to be able to provide for someone else. That's where the fulfillment comes in. It's so cool to have things for yourself and for your kids, but when you can expand that out and you can start paying that forward, oh, you guys, it is worth the hard work. It is worth every effort to get up every day and say, who am I going to share this business with? It's worth the 2 classes a week. It's worth the mental breakdowns because you've hit a block. I still hit them, you guys. Hitting presidential terrified the heck out of me. And I am telling you what it took to get to presidential. We hit it, for those of you who don't know, we hit presidential back in April. And we have three different ways we deal with stress, just all of us. We either fight, we flight, or we freeze. Those are the 3 responses. And I freeze. I stop dead in my tracks. When I know something's coming, I stop. And then I start to retreat. And I won't go for it. And that has been my horrible cycle all through this journey. And so what we did in April is we knew the legs that were weak, that were not going to change no matter what we did, right? No matter what we did.
By the way, wasn't us. We are the best.
It was not my rock stars. It was not my rock stars. You know it's not you. Yes. My biggest leader doesn't have this issue. So we have those legs that the volume's not going to change. And so to commit ourselves to April, you guys, and this was a scary, scary push because we were far away, but both of us felt this burning in our heart. We knew it was the right timing. We were hoping that doTERRA was going to come out with this great big 10-year anniversary special because April was their 10th anniversary. So we were like, oh, surely they're going to have like a $200 special or a BOGO or a special product or something. And as you know, in April, they didn't give us anything. They mailed us all out a free oil, which was so cool. But for me, trying to push for presidential, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is killing me. They didn't give us anything. But to make sure that I didn't freeze and I didn't back out, we actually put in orders in those legs that we knew were not going to change on April 1st. And that committed me because I could not go back and change that. I put that order in and that locked us in. It sealed the deal. And we just charged forward, went through the horrible scare of not having a promotion at all. And we worked day in, day out to hit that. So that's the mindset that you have to tackle sometimes. That's what you have to do. But we hit those blocks. I hit those blocks and I have to work past them. And how cool is it to know that I can? How cool is it when you prove to yourself that you have the mental grit to push through those blocks and up-level yourself? Because that's what you're doing every time you do it. It's not about the money. It's not about the rank. That wasn't about anything more than the accomplishment for me. I wanted to accomplish that for myself. I've worked so hard for 9 years and I knew I needed to hit that for the accomplishment of it, not for the title, not for any other reason. I knew my team would still love me no matter what, right? It was for the accomplishment and to know that I could push past that limiting block. So whatever is standing in your way, go to work, do the personal development, lock arms with your upline, your crossline, this beautiful community that Romy's created, which, by the way, no one else in doTERRA has created such a beautiful community like this. Kudos to Romy because I have not seen this done anywhere. The community that you guys have and the bond that you guys have cross-line is so amazing. You should be bringing everybody into this community. It's awesome. I love the rock stars. You guys are awesome. So push through it and do the self-development, put in the work, and open your mind up to what this really is, and go sell that movement.
What she said. Super fun. I mean, it's just, we've talked about it before. Karina and I have talked about it. We have one event that we went to, the lady said, if you're not having fun in this business, you're doing something wrong. And that wasn't a doTERRA lady, that was just network marketing. So I think one of the huge things for me is like what you asked about, who has an issue with doTERRA, with network marketing. And that was the block for me as I started building the business. I think something that's really big in this is that it's super important to find whatever you need to do. You really need to find a way to learn to appreciate and love the business model of network marketing. If we don't, we'll grow. We will grow, but we won't grow to the capacity of our capabilities if we have that lack of belief in the actual business model that we are promoting and sharing. So we can continue to share the product all day long, and our businesses will grow. No doubt our businesses will grow if we share the product. But until we believe in the whole thing, we're not going to have the full benefit of it. And the people that we bring into our lives, into our business, into our community, they are not going to have the full benefit of it.
Yeah, you cannot create this life in any other industry. So I have this whole new take on network marketing. I think it's the most brilliant industry in the world right now, because there's nowhere that you can have unlimited earning potential. Where else can you just decide that you want to raise and go out and work for it? Where else can you just decide, hey, You know, I need to do more because I have now this ambition to do this in my life. And that means I need to go create more, and you can actually go out and create more. There's no limit to our earning potential. I honestly feel and believe that we're just warming up. And does that scare me? Oh yeah, you bet that scares me. It scares all the leaders in doTERRA that we're just warming up. But we are just warming up, you guys. Amway is what, over 50 years old? I was reading, I'm sure some of you saw my post about reading an article about a couple that was making $1 million a month. $1 million a month in Amway. Amway that we all thought had gone bye-bye, you know, that was crazy Amway. It's still around, it's still thriving, and people are still earning. doTERRA is outpacing them tenfold. The movement that we have is so much more powerful. Where the heck are we going to be in 10 years, in 20 years? Where are we going to be in 3 years? Like, wrapping my mind around that is crazy. And it just excites me because of how much more we're all going to be able to do to just pay it forward and change the world. Do you feel that? Do you feel what's coming? This doesn't stop unless you stop. Why would you stop? Don't stop. Don't stop. So.
That's
sorry,
right.
I just keep getting excited.
When it comes to the business opportunity and finances and being able to have the resources to be able to help and serve other people, I think it's rather selfish on our part if we don't give the people that we love the opportunity to be able to have the same opportunity and resources to be able to help and serve other people. And so that's, I mean, I don't know, we're just getting started as far as being able to help people and with the financial resources. I mean, that was one of our goals and dreams when we had the homeless ministry, is that we just wanted to have all the resources that we needed in order to be able to help people in whatever capacity that was. And this is it. I mean, I spent years in my job. I worked there for 10 years. And when the whole time we did the homeless ministry, I would sit at my desk and my brain was running 1 million miles an hour trying to figure out how I was going to be able to create an income, to be able to quit my job, to be able to help and serve people on a full-time basis and still be able to survive family-wise. And when I would sit and run that through my head, all I saw was me continuing to work even after Mark retired, because we just didn't have the resources in order to be able to do that. So when I look at it as far as what we are capable of doing, we are limited in that aspect. But when we look at what we can do when we partner with God, when we partner with each other, then the possibilities are endless. There is just nothing that can stop us in that regard.
Yep. And so powerful when you're able to sell people on that vision in your head. Like, Romy, you did such a beautiful job of that, because everybody on this call knows where your heart's at. They know what you want to create. And yeah, they want a piece of that. They're good with coming in. So my question is, how many of you have that mission? How many of you have been sharing with your frontline leaders what you want out of this and where you want to go and what will happen with your success? Because I feel like if you're really going to create the movement that you desire, you've all got to unite in some sort of common ground there. And if it is paying it forward like that, or, I mean, your why may not even be the same as Romy's, but you may love her why. And that may be enough to say, yep, let's keep moving forward, so that you have that unity, because you really need that. You really need that friendship. I love partnering with Romy, and we know we have similar hearts, and we don't have always the same ambitions, but they're very closely matched. They're very closely matched. So make sure that you have that with your partners. And if you don't, let's bring some people in that you do. That's what I'm saying. When you need to find people that match your intensity and match the desires of your heart, that's what that feels like. And if those leaders aren't those people, let's bring those people in. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And figure out how to paint the picture.
Paint the picture.
So you can share that picture easily with the people that you're coming alongside of.
Yep. I have to show you something because you just said that. So I have another big why, kind of a crazy one. But I don't know if you can see that. It's my big scribble writing. It's Painting Your Masterpiece. It's a book I just started. So when you were saying, take that picture, I was like, yep, that's my book, Romy. I just started writing my book. Yep. That scares the heck out of me. It might take me 10 more years to get this book done, but it will go to print one day.
Yes, it will.
Mm-hmm.
Can you put me on the list for getting that book, Natalie?
Yes, it might be a 10-year wait, but I'll write your name down right here.
Yes, too.
Just say you're taking pre-orders.
Yeah, pre-orders. I'm giving you the warning. It might be 10 years, but I've gotten quite a bit. I've got the whole introductory done, so we're moving right along.
You do well on deadlines, so we'll just give you a deadline.
Throw it out, yeah. Will you determine that deadline for me so I can write it down?
Yeah, 6 months.
Oh, Romy.
You said it. You actually opened that door.
Romy.
I got 6 months to write this book. I honestly never thought I would start it. So, I'm sure some of you have heard Burke's great big dream is he really wants to get a catamaran and sell the ocean. And I thought, well, that's the perfect place to write my book because we're going to have, days and days out at the sea. There's one crossing he wants to do that's 14 days of no land. And I was like, that's when I'll start writing my book.
You'll be too busy throwing up.
Oh, gosh.
I'll be throwing up. Yes. Oh no, that's one of our dreams out there that we've got that we're playing with. But God definitely told me I needed to speed up the book, so I started it sooner.
Sweet.
Yep. Part of the movement, you guys. It's part of the movement.
Mm-hmm. All right, we are 5 minutes to the hour. Anybody have a burning desire? Question for Natalie? Comment?
I have a question, but I don't have a comment.
Okay.
So I don't know what it is about you two, but I've been crying most of this call because you knew where I was 6 years ago. And I've been kind of going there and questioning a lot of things. And every time you two come in like a wrecking ball with doTERRA, and it's like, oh my gosh. What I want to say is thank you to both of you because you saved me in so many ways, and so has this company as a whole, because without doTERRA in my life, I probably wouldn't have grown as much as I have. I still have a lot to grow, but God just sends you guys back my way, and you come in like a wrecking ball, and I literally have been listening to you bawling. So for that, Natalie.
Melissa, you know how much I love you, right?
Yes.
You know how much I love you, and you know that God has called you to this.
I know. Yeah.
You know that.
Questions. And here you two are like wrecking balls. So thank you.
I love you, lady.
We love you.
I love you guys too, a lot. More than you know.
So before we move on to the giveaway, I just want to hold on, think about your story. Everybody has a story, and what part of your story are you going to share with people? Some people get all the nitty-gritty details. Some people get the short version. But and if you listen to your gut when you're talking to people, you'll know what part of your story to share with people. The most important thing is to be able to feel comfortable in sharing your story, because your story is the only story out there that matters when it comes to your business and your life and your goals and your visions. We all have one, but no one has a story like us. I mean, each one of us has an individual story. Each one of us is individual. There's no one else like us. So if you don't know what your story is, if you can't share it comfortably, I encourage you to spend some time in your story and figure out how you're going to be able to share that, because your story is what's going to bring people to you, nothing else. doTERRA is awesome. The products are awesome, but people are going to join you because of you, not because of the products and not because of doTERRA. And if you can't share your story, then they're not going to know what they're joining. So that's what I got with that.
I love that.
Kenzie. Thanks.
I love that. I've just shared Karina Brackett sent me a text last night that kind of goes along with this, and I just feel like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and read this just because it came last night. And so funny how we all just connect on these levels. But it says, when we deny the story, it defines us. When we own the story, we can write a brave new ending. And I feel like becoming vulnerable with our story and owning our story is powerful. And we are so unique in what we can offer the world, and we need to own that for sure. So I love that.
Yep. Authentically.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want people to look at us through rose-colored glasses. We want clear glasses when they look at us.
Yep.
So
Love it.
We're going to do a giveaway now?
Yes, we are.
Well, now you got to stick around, because I had a great idea for the first thing we can give away tonight. Is a autographed, non-circulated first run print of your book.
Yes. Okay, deal.
Okay, and I'll announce the winner, and it's me.
I was just gonna say, Romy and I need to be in on that too.
That will help me get it going. You might get a chapter a year, but you're gonna get something autographed.
Yeah, because you are gonna owe somebody on this whole bunch tonight something.
Yeah. That's accountability, you guys. That's accountability.
That's right. What are we really giving away, Kenzie?
Give me a number, Mark, 1 through 6.
4.
Okay, we're giving away the first 4. That sounds good to me.
How many you got there?
Well, I had 6, but you said 4, so we'll go with that.
Okay, I meant 2.
No take backs.
4 plus early copy of the book.
Yeah. The first one's Breathe. And the winner of the Breathe is Tracy. Hey, how about that?
Tracy!
Wow, that's fantastic.
That's awesome.
That was totally,
Perfect.
On the Zoom today, you won't know the whole story behind it. These are total random giveaways. So Tracy won Breathe because God wants Tracy to have Breathe.
That's what I needed.
Breathe.
That's fantastic.
Just
Yay.
breathe.
Yay.
Okay, the next one is Serenity, and the winner is Chrissy Story.
Yay!
Hey!
And the next one is Aroma Touch, and the winner is Dana Husselman.
Hey, Dana! Isn't Dana...
Are we done with the secret? Should I keep going, or?
Great.
Yeah, no, Mark, that's me. That's my actual last name.
Dana is actually going to be one of our guests on an upcoming Sizzle. That's what we were talking about. So we are super excited about
I didn't know if I should let the cat out of the bag or Dana out of the bag, you know.
And the last one is Dill. And the winner is Cynthia Smith.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Does anybody in this group actually use dill?
That's good.
You can shut the recording off if you want. So that way we're-
Okay.